Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my review of tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. And it just ended, and I gotta say, it was a decent show tonight. There was some good matches. There was only two stupid matches that were like, did they really need to make these matches to be on tonight's card? But it was a decent Raw tonight, aside from two stupid matches, though. But the show opens up with Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon in the ring, and they welcome out Samoa Joe. They make him sign the Raw contract, and Joe's got on the mic and said it took him 18 years to get into the company, and he's been with TNA for a long time. From I remember way before he came to NXT. And he said he glad he put Seth Rollins on the shelf, and since he took out Rollins last week, who knows if Rollins could be cleared to be at WrestleMania this year. So he might not appear at WrestleMania. Who knows? Because he has a leg injury. But yeah, so Joe put Rollins on the shelf, and he got him. And he talked about he's putting the whole locker room on notice, saying that he's going to beat all of them up. And then out comes Roman Reigns saying, for Joe to threaten him to beat the hell, for Joe to beat the hell out of Roman Reigns. And then Foley makes a match for Joe to take on Roman later on tonight, which will be the main event. But overall, it was an okay opening segment to the show. Really liked Joe's suit. He looked like a businessman coming out there, getting on the mic, said what he had to say. But I really hope that they don't screw up Joe on the main roster. He had a good run at in NXT. Let's try to keep that run really good on the main roster. Don't fuck them up, please. So, but yeah, and then we move on to the first match, and it was Nia Jax versus Bayley once again. It was a kind of match. I liked seeing Bayley. You all know I'm a huge Bayley fan. Said it a million times, but this match was because it was just Nia just dominating Bayley throughout the match. Even when Raw came back from the commercial break, Michael Cole said, it was all Nia during the commercial break. But almost at the end of the match, you had Charlotte come down, try to sort of distract Bayley, but Bayley took out Charlotte. And then Bayley turns around and Nia just hits her with a Samoan drop to score the win, and so Nia won the match. And then after the match, you had Charlotte just stand right near Bayley, holding the title, holding the Raw Women's title. So, but yeah, so overall it was a kind of match. And then when Raw came back from commercial, this was a really stupid match. One of the two stupid matches that they had tonight was a 4-on-1 handicap match. It was Braun Strowman versus these four jobbers, which Strowman just dominated throughout the match. Just took them all out. He had one guy who was scared shitless of Braun, and he ran out of the ring and ran to the back, because he was scared of Strowman. But yeah, Braun Strowman just pinned these three guys, the three guys there that were fighting him in the ring. So it was a stupid match. Did not need to be on the card tonight. I don't know why they did this. It was so stupid. And then after the match, you had Strowman calling out Mick Foley, and Strowman ends up going backstage, seeing where Foley is, and he got on the mic out there in the ring after the match. He was like, these jobbers was a joke for him to pin them. So he goes in the back. He asks Foley for more competition, and so Foley ends up making a match for Fastlane, and at Fastlane it's going to be Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. So that's gonna probably be a good match at the pay-per-view coming up after Elimination Chamber. So, and then the next match was the cruiserweight match, the first cruiserweight match tonight, and it was Akira Tozawa versus Drew Gulak. Really good match. Akira Tozawa, he was really interested in the ring. Really great. Very interesting. We'll have to say, hopefully in the future, he could have a match with Shinsuke Nakamura when he comes up to the main roster. Because I think these two guys, if Shinsuke came up to the main roster, I think if they had them two fight, it would be a really good match. But Akira Tozawa got the win with the suplex to Drew Gulak to win the match, and it was very impressive from Akira Tozawa. I gotta say, he's another one of my favorite stars that are on the cruiserweight division. So yeah, but overall it was a good match. Excellent in-ring performance from Akira Tozawa. So, and then after that, we had Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho coming out. Owens gets on the mic saying, what he said last week, that he was proving everybody wrong. Said that nobody gave him a chance against Braun Strowman last week, and he still stands as the Universal Champion. And then Jericho says he's still going to be the U.S. Champion after his match tonight with Sami Zayn. What was really funny is he put Tom Brady on the list because he stole his greatest of all time saying, and that really made me laugh because Tom Brady deserves to be on that list. Oh man, I was just so pissed off last night that the Patriots won the Super Bowl. Was really pissed off because Brady and company did not deserve to win another Super Bowl from all the cheating that team does. So, but yeah, it was really funny that Jericho put him on the list. And then Goldberg comes out and says he wants to take Jericho and Owens on, 2-on-1. Goldberg also accepts Brock Lesnar's WrestleMania challenge. So it's going to be Lesnar and Goldberg again at WrestleMania. And I'm like, oh God, please let this be a good match. Don't let it be like their WrestleMania 20 match where they just stood around for almost the entire match and then just going at it when they wanted to. It's just giving me bad vibes of that match at WrestleMania 20. So I think that's how it's going to be at WrestleMania. Or it could go, the Survivor Series route where it was just Goldberg just speared Lesnar, jackhammered him, pin, end of the match. So that's what I think it's going to be again. I think their WrestleMania match this year is going to be just like their Survivor Series match. So, but after he accepted Lesnar's challenge, Goldberg wanted to go one-on-one with Owens for the Universal title. Jericho, what was funny is Jericho decided to put Goldberg on the list, but Goldberg ended up taking the list and putting himself on the list. It was really funny. And then Jericho wanted to see Owens versus Goldberg at Fastlane, for the Universal title, but Mick Foley has to make that official though. So, but it was a pretty good segment. Seeing Owens and Jericho and Goldberg in the ring again. It was just really good. And then once again, the rematch. Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson versus Cesaro and Sheamus for the tag team titles. Get their rematch, and it was a okay match. You had Enzo and Cassidy at ringside watching the match, but in the end, you had Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson winning by disqualification because Gallows kicked Enzo, and then Big Cass just took out Gallows, and so it was a disqualification win. Gallows and Anderson still retain the titles. So, but overall, it was an okay match. It wasn't great or perfect though. And you had this last stupid match that didn't need to be done. And it was the New Day versus the Shining Stars. Primo and Epico. And I'm like, why is this match even? Why was this match even made? Oh man, it was stupid. It was a stupid match. New Day ended up winning the match. So it was for the New Day. It was Xavier and Big E, and then Kofi was just outside the ring watching the match. But I say the Kofi Kingston Xavier Woods video from last night, where Kofi was going crazy because he was rooting for the Patriots, and Xavier's up down down video. That was much better than their match tonight against the Shining Stars. That was how bad this match was tonight. This stupid match. Yeah. So all in all, stupid match. Yeah, and then after that you had Jericho being interviewed about going into his match against Sami tonight. Now he's going to beat him, and he talks about his friendship, with Owens. And then it eventually led to the match, which was Jericho versus Sami Zayn for the U.S. title. It was a pretty good match. It was very entertaining. You had Jericho and Sami giving it all they got. But you had Owens at ringside watching the match. You had Jericho put Sami in the walls of Jericho, which eventually Sami broke out of. But you had Owens super kick Sami, and it eventually led to Jericho hitting the code breaker on Sami to score the win and retain the U.S. title. So, but overall, it was a pretty entertaining match. It was pretty good. So, and then we go backstage, and you see Sasha Banks there. She had to have therapy for her knee, which you all know was destroyed by Nia Jax. And then Charlotte is there. Charlotte is rubbing in Sasha's face that that she's gonna put Bayley next to Sasha next week, because next week it's gonna be Bayley versus Charlotte for the title, for the Raw Women's title, which finally Bayley's gonna get her rematch with Charlotte. And you all know probably Bayley. I hope Bayley wins it because Charlotte is defeated on Raw's. If you remember, if you know, when she had the rivalry with Sasha Banks, where you had Sasha win the title by putting Charlotte in the bank statement on the stair, on the banister stairs, the banister. So who knows if Bayley is going to win the title next week. I hope she does, because then I'm going to mark out if she does. So, but yeah. And then we go back to the ring. Austin Aries is there. He introduces Neville, He interviews him. Austin makes an announcement that tomorrow night on 205 Live, it's going to be a fatal 5-way match to determine the number one contender to face Neville for the Cruiserweight title. And it's going to be Cedric Alexander versus Noam versus Jack Gallagher, Tony Nese, and TJ Perkins. So, and then all 5 of them, they all come out saying that, that Cruiserweight title is going to be on them. And so all those 5 guys in the ring go at it, which eventually led to, when Raw came back from the commercial, a 6-man tag team match. It was Cedric Alexander, TJ Perkins, and Jack Gallagher versus Tony Nese, Noam Dar, and Neville. And it was a good match. It was the last Cruiserweight match tonight. Very entertaining, but the Cruiserweights, the stars in this match gave it all they got, but the crowd, still is not, behind them. They still think that this is boring. But they gave it all they got. But you had Neville walk out of the match, and you had Cedric Alexander do a really good backbreaker to it was Noam Dar to score the win, and it was a really cool finisher how Cedric Alexander did that. So, but all in all, it was a good last Cruiserweight match for tonight. It was really good. And then after that, you had Jericho and Owens backstage, and they're gonna do like a big sort of segment in Vegas next week, because Raw is gonna be in Vegas next week, and it's just gonna be Jericho saluting Owens and doing like this sort of this thing that can't remember what it was though, but they're gonna be doing that. They're gonna be doing that next week. So, and then the last thing was the main event. It was Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns, and it was an awesome match. Really enjoyed it. Although before the match got started, Samoa Joe just came out of nowhere and took out Reigns, and it was the same thing like he did to Rollins last week, where he just ran out of nowhere and then just took out Roman Reigns tonight. Oh, by the way, the thing that Jericho and Owens are doing is going to be called the Festival of Friendship. That's what I was thinking about. But yeah, that's what they're doing next week, Jericho and Owens on Raw in Vegas. So, but back to Joe and Roman Reigns match, the main event. You had Joe just taking out Reigns way before the match even started. Like I said, like how we did Rollins last week. And then when we came back from commercial, when the Raw came back from commercial, that's when the match started. And it was good. It was a good match for Joe's Raw debut. And you had at the end of the match, you had Braun Strowman coming out. You had during the match, Braun Strowman coming out, and then just Reigns just trying to take out Strowman with both times, and that eventually led to Samoa Joe suplexing Roman Reigns to score the win. And then after the match, Braun Strowman comes in and just gives Roman a power slam. He also hits him with the steel steps. And then what was really cool is that Braun just drived Roman Reigns through the barricade to end the show, which was awesome. You had the crowd chanting, "Thank you, Strowman," for that. It was really crazy how the way it ended, though. So, yeah, so Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. It was a good match. It was a good match for Joe's Raw debut, in my opinion. So, and then Braun Strowman ending it with doing all that to Roman was good too. Really enjoyed that. So yeah, so anyways, that's it for my review for tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. Thank you all for watching, and until the next video, which will be my SmackDown review tomorrow night. So until that video, I'll see you all later.